She buried her husband, but not her heart. Gloria Carroll thought love had already given her its greatest chapter, widowed, beautiful, and finished. This Christmas, a new man moves to town. Younger, brilliant, a wealthy pediatrician with a smile that feels far too warm for December. In a place where everyone knows her past, he sees her future. And suddenly, age ain't nothing but a number, and love doesn't come with an expiration date. Welcome to Christmas in Old Town Love Stories, where ambitious women, unexpected love, and the holiday spirit collide. If you believe in soft love, second chances, and Christmas miracles, like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. This is another heart-throbbing love story in the world of Christmas in Old Town. And this one, it's the actual prequel to our upcoming live-action film. Now, let's step into Gloria's story. The brass knocker on the front door hadn't moved in months. Gloria's hand hovered, then dropped. Her Victorian home was too quiet now. Inside, everything still felt like Robert. Lemon polish, old books, the grandfather clock ticking like a dare. Christmas had been his season. Lights, laughter, the star on top of the tree. This year, the tree stayed boxed away. Gloria caught her reflection in the mirror. Braided white hair, warm caramel skin, mid-60s on paper, timeless in presence. A former local homecoming queen turned carpenter, strong, steady, unseen. Grief had dimmed even her brightest light. Her daughter Bianca, a YouTuber, lived loudly online with her statement cakes, couture, and fashion. She curated joy for millions of subscribers. She lived in Atlanta, which felt worlds away. A daddy's girl, Bianca hadn't been home since Robert's funeral, Gloria's husband. The house, once full, now felt like a gilded cage. Gloria prayed in the quiet, for light, for movement, because deep down she knew something had to change. Beyond Gloria's prayers, Petersburg itself was changing. The town buzzed with the arrival of Dr. Michael Lagrimas, its new pediatrician. Tall, calm, devastatingly handsome. His easy smile carried the quiet confidence of a man who knew exactly who he was. Naturally, Gloria heard about him from Mrs. Monica Marley. 70-something, southern, and proudly loud, Mrs. Marley knew everything that happened in the burg before most folks finished their coffee. She called Gloria immediately. "Guess who just joined the nonprofit board, Dr. Lagrimas? And why should I care?" Gloria asked. "Because sugar," Mrs. Marley cackled. "That man is fine, and we all deserve something nice to look at." Gloria laughed, brushing it off. Still, the description lingered. The timing couldn't have been worse. The annual Christmas camp, Robert's pride and joy, was on the brink of cancellation. Without him, the board had lost its center, its spark, its hope. When Mrs. Marley insisted Gloria attend the emergency meeting, she resisted, until she didn't. Inside the boardroom, voices clashed. "We don't have the staff. We don't have the funding. We don't have time." Gloria's chest tightened. Before she could speak, a calm voice cut clean through the noise. "What about the kids?" Dr. Lagrimas said. The room shifted. "This camp matters," he continued. "I will help," he said. Something in Gloria stirred sharp and sudden. "I'll help too," she heard herself say. "I'll step in as camp director. Robert would want that." Mrs. Marley's smile spread slow and satisfied. "Well then, looks like you two will be working together." The board latched on immediately, relieved, energized, praising Dr. Lagrima's initiative and Gloria's unmatched experience. "And y'all know Gloria is wonderful with children," Mrs. Marley added. "Just look at Bianca. That baby practically grew up in this camp." Heat crept up Gloria's neck. She kept her eyes forward. But curiosity got the better of her. She glanced and immediately wished she hadn't. Because the man was fine, not loud about it, not trying, just fine, dark hair, slightly messy like he didn't care, but somehow perfect anyway. A soft gray cashmere sweater stretched just enough across his shoulders to make a point. Corduroys, clean, fitted, effortless, steady, that's what it was. He wasn't like Robert, who could charm a room without trying. No, Mike Lagrimas drew you in quietly and held you there. "What about the space?" The question snapped her out of it. Right, the real problem, every usual venue was booked. The camp had nowhere to go, and then the door swung open. The mayor swept in with Maeve, her top assistant, right behind her, energy sharp and decisive. "Use the paint shop," she said. Mrs. Marley nearly choked. "That old place, it looks like a haunted house." The mayor shrugged. "Take it or leave it. Beggars can't be choosers." Maeve nodded like she'd already approved the chaos. "It's all we have. Our city planner, Brianna, is on a trip with her husband. Usually she plans this sort of thing and he's in charge of the actual construction, but it looks like someone else will have to do it." The board murmured, cost, labor, time, all impossible. But Gloria felt it again. That pull. She thought of the home she and Robert had rebuilt from the ground up. The dust, The long nights, the pride. She could hear his voice like he was standing right beside her. Where there's a will, there's a way. She straightened. "We're not canceling this camp," she said firmly. "Get me the materials, I'll fix it." A beat, doctor, Lagrimas met her eyes. "And you won't be doing it alone." Something warm flickered in her chest. "Partner?" she asked lightly, a hint of a smile. "Partner. I can get some med students to help," he added. "And I'm good. With my hands." "Mrs." Marley leaned in, whisper singing, "I bet he is." Gloria didn't even look at her. "Behave." Maybe, just maybe, this unexpected partnership could bring more than the camp back to life. Gloria glanced up and caught him looking at her. Not casually, not by accident. Looking, her stomach flipped. Is he? She glanced behind herself. No one there. When she looked back, his eyes shifted away, but not fast enough. "Hey, loves, do you think Dr. Lagrimas is feeling Gloria? Have you ever dated someone younger? Give us the tea in the comments. And have you subscribed yet? Please do. We'd love to have you join our community of people who still believe in love." Now back to the story. The next morning, Gloria was bent over her flower beds, coaxing pansies and violas to stand tall against the winter chill. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She wiped her hands and answered. "Hello." "Hi, Gloria," she stilled. "Dr. Lagrimas." A soft chuckle. "Mike. If we're going to be partners." A smile slipped out before she could stop it. "All right, Mike." The name felt new, strange, not bad, though. "When do you want to start on the paint shop?" she asked. "Are you busy today?" he said quickly, then, like he caught himself, "I'm already here. Maeve just dropped off supplies." Of course she did. "I gave her a list," Gloria said. He replied. She smiled. "I'll grab my tools." The call ended, but she didn't move, not right away. A few minutes later, she stood in front of the mirror. Her braids were a mess. Her brows unacceptable. She squinted at herself. "What are we doing?" she muttered, still the shower turned on. Steam filled the room as she scrubbed, plucked, polished, more effort than necessary, and she knew it. She oiled her hair, unbraided it, letting thick waves fall over her shoulders. Then pause, red lipstick. She hadn't worn red lipstick in years, not since. She stopped the thought, looked at herself again. Even in sweats and worn sneakers, she was striking. She always had been. Somewhere along the way, she just forgot. "This is ridiculous," she murmured. "It's a paint shop." Still, she grabbed her keys. The old paint shop stopped her cold. It was alive. Students moved in every direction, lifting, measuring, sweeping, organized chaos with purpose. And at the center of it all, Mike, sleeves rolled, tape measure hooked at his hip, focused, working, leading, belonging. Gloria exhaled slowly. Because seeing him in that boardroom, that was one thing, but this was dangerous. Broad shoulders, strong arms, lean, capable. The kind of man who didn't just talk about doing the work, he did it. When he looked up and saw her, something softened, just a little, just enough. Her breath caught. "Lord help me." He smiled. Slow, warm, with just a hint of trouble. And for a second, Gloria forgot why she came. She was supposed to be assessing the space. Instead, she was trying not to stare at this young man built like a holiday miracle. He was covered in dust. A streak of dirt smudged across his cheek like he didn't have time to care. His laughter carried across the room as he directed the team, pointing. Lifting, moving fully in it, not just overseeing, working. His hands were as natural with a hammer as she imagined they were with a scalpel. Even from a distance, his energy hit her, warm, kinetic, impossible to ignore. It pushed against the silence of the old shop like it had something to prove. And then her rose scent reached him, the perfume she made from her garden. He turned, saw her, smiled slow, because he hadn't expected that this early in the morning. A student broke his gaze with a question. He answered, gesturing across the space, voice steady and confident, like the building might actually listen. Gloria watched him, her chest tightening with something she didn't want to name. Gratitude, yes, of course. He'd stepped in to help. This place, this project, it carried Robert in every beam, every nail. But underneath that, curiosity, a flicker of competition. Did this young, high-energy doctor really understand what it meant to restore something? To love it long enough to bring it back? Robert did. They'd spent nights arguing over details, laughing when things went sideways, figuring it out together. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Could he? She stepped closer. "So I see you've gotten started." He looked up, brushing sawdust from his shirt. "Started," he grinned. "We're just warming up, waiting on you, the boss, the expert, to tell us what we're doing wrong." He paused for a moment before saying, no cap, with a smile. Gloria thought to herself, he is young, but still she fought a smile. "Well, that's good," she said, then sharp. "You've got something on your face." His hand lifted, then stopped. He held up both palms, coated in dust. "Would you mind? I'd try, but I feel like I'd make it worse." She blinked. "Excuse me." he laughed, easy, disarming. Sawdust situation. She sighed, already reaching into her tool belt. Unbelievable. She pulled out a baby wipe and stepped in, dabbing his cheek. Simple, quick. But neither of them moved right away. Something passed between them, quiet, electric. She stepped back first, clearing her throat, pulling out her notepad like nothing happened. All right, let's get to work. Mike clocked the notepad, already pulling out his phone. You taking notes? I'm old school, I write everything down. No phone. I like to remember things without needing a charger. He studied her, amused. I don't function without mine, but I respect it. Over the next week, the old paint shop started to come alive. Scaffolding climbed the walls, hammers rang out, voices filled the space where silence used to sit heavy. It wasn't fixed, but it was waking up. Gloria stood in the center of the shop, eyes tracing the ceiling. That beam's bowing, she muttered. Looks pretty like Christmas lights, but it's not safe. She tapped a warped floorboard with her boot. And this, definitely not kid-friendly. Mike followed her line of sight, impressed. Sharp eye, you see the bones under all this. He clapped once, energized. We reinforce the beams, replace what we need. Students are already patching leaks, but structure first. Gloria shook her head. Replacing beams isn't a casual decision. We need an engineer before we touch anything major. He tilted his head. An engineer? Yes, Rufus, Mrs. Marley's husband. Brilliant, meticulous, she said before continuing with, and he will talk your ear off. Mike laughed. I'll be ready for it. We're going to need him. Mike stepped closer, lowering his voice just slightly. Sounds like we've got a team. Beat, you, me, he flexed jokingly. She swallowed before she could stop herself. And your enthusiasm, he grinned. Exactly, together, dangerous. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Doctor. Mike. She hesitated, then, glow, that landed. He extended his hand. She took it, and neither of them let go right away, a sudden scrape above them. Gloria jumped. Did you hear that? A rustle. Then a raccoon slid down a beam like it paid rent. A raccoon, she gasped. Mike lit up. Okay, no, this is amazing. That is not amazing. That's a mascot. That's a liability. He crouched slightly, delighted. We're nomming him Rusty. Absolutely not. Every camp needs a mascot, Glow. She tried to stay serious, failed. Rusty, she muttered. Mike beamed like he'd just won something. The students laughed, the tension breaking. And just like that, the space shifted. What felt overwhelming a week ago now felt possible. Alive. Gloria looked around, the noise, the movement, the ridiculous raccoon, and felt something loosen inside her. Robert would have loved this. The chaos, the life, the second chance. She glanced at Mike, still smiling, still moving, still somehow pulling everyone forward. And despite herself, she was looking forward to tomorrow. One afternoon, Gloria discovered the old kitchen tucked in the back, one of the reasons the mayor had been so set on this space. Apparently, the building hadn't always been a paint shop. The kitchen was surprisingly intact. Worn, yes, dusty, forgotten, but solid, useful, alive if someone loved it again. Gloria ran her fingers over the counter, then spotted it, a recipe card, edges softened with time. She smiled. Well, don't mind if I do. A quick run to the store later, she was back alone in the quiet kitchen. Flour drifted through the air like soft snowfall. Sugar sparkled under the dim light. Molasses warmed the space with something rich, familiar, comforting. She hummed under her breath. All I want for Christmas. The dough came together easily in her hands like muscle memory, gingerbread men, stars, a few extra taste test pieces she'd never admit to. By the time the first batch hit the oven, the entire space had transformed. Not abandoned anymore. Inviting. Home, out front the crew worked. Mike moved through the space like he belonged there. Then he paused, sniffed the air. Okay, what is that? Back in the kitchen, Gloria checked the cookies, satisfied, then carried a tray out to cool before grabbing a roller and heading back into the main room. Mike was mid-battle with a wall that clearly had personal issues. He looked up, catching her. Ready to hook these walls up? He asked, low, teasing. She didn't miss the tone. Child, she said, grabbing a roller, I was born ready. But this place, it might need a miracle. He grinned, lifting a bucket of bright yellow paint. Or little sunshine, right by the entrance. Something that says, welcome, kiddos, before they even get inside. She glanced at the color, then at him. You're bold. Right, she smirked. We'll see. They started painting. At first quiet, just the soft rhythm of rollers, the occasional step, the shared awareness of each other's space. Then slowly they found a groove, moving around each other, in sync. You're good with that, she said, watching him. He shrugged. Construction job in med school. My parents were not impressed. Let me guess, they wanted a surgeon. Of course they did. She smiled knowingly, then plop. White paint hit his jacket. He froze, slowly looked down. Wow, Gloria pressed her lips together. That was an accident. He looked up at her, dead serious. Assault, she laughed. Big mistake. He flicked his roller. Yellow paint splattered across her overalls. She gasped. Oh, it's like that, he grinned. Very much like that. The paint war was quick, chaotic, and way too fun. Laughter echoed through the space, bouncing off unfinished walls. They slowed, eventually breathing a little heavier, smiling a little wider. And then hiss, both froze. Gloria turned slowly. No, water spilled across the kitchen floor, spreading fast. Oh, no, 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 she rushed in, grabbing towels, trying to contain it. And then a furry blur, Rusty, mid-heist, cookie in mouth. Rusty, Gloria yelled. That's unsanitary, that's nasty. Mike doubled over, laughing. He said finders keepers. Not in my kitchen, she lunged, slipped. Whoa, Mike caught her just before she hit the floor. They both froze for half a second, too close, too aware, then laughter again. Wow, he said, brushing flour from her hair, this place really delivers, flooding, theft, near-death experiences. And you're enjoying this, she shot back. A little, yeah, he said. The sink, she snapped, snapping back into focus. Toolbox, now. Yes, ma'am, he dropped to his knees at the pipes, already working. Stand back, he said. This is about to get disrespectful. Water sprayed everywhere. She passed him tools, slipping once, steadying herself on his shoulder, hands brushing just enough to feel it. You good? He asked. I'm fine, she said quickly, too quickly. Finally, the water slowed, stopped. Silence. He tightened the last fitting and leaned back. There, crisis averted. He looked at her, soft, steady. And we saved the important stuff. He nodded toward the cookies. She exhaled, adrenaline still buzzing. You're amazing, she said before she could stop herself. He smiled, softer now, just being a good teammate. Their fingers brushed as he handed her a cookie. That spark again, stronger this time. He picked one up, studying it. These are dangerous. She raised an eyebrow. Dangerous. I like the slightly imperfect ones. His eyes flicked to her. Intentional, she felt it. Oh, do you? Yeah, he said quietly. They've got more personality. She hesitated then. Do you want to come? Yes, he blinked, realized. I didn't let you finish. She folded her arms, trying not to smile. Come to my she-shed, we need to build the furniture. Oh, he nodded quickly. Right, of course, professional. A beat. Still excited, though. Later, in the she-shed, Mike took it all in. The pastel floral walls, the photos, Robert, Bianca, Gloria, stacks of notebooks, half-finished ideas, dreams paused, not abandoned. You really do write everything down, he said, flipping a page. Helps me think. Helps you build, he corrected. She liked that. They opened the flat-pack box. Confidence was high. That lasted 5 minutes. This makes no sense, Gloria muttered. Beggars can't be choosers, Mike reminded her. Beggars still deserve instructions that make sense. He cracked his knuckles. All right, we go to war. She laughed, and just like that, they did. It should have been easy, it was. But somewhere between wrong screws, flipped panels, and shared frustration, they found a rhythm again. Closer this time, quieter, more personal. You know, Gloria said softly, tightening a screw, this used to be my space. Mike glanced at her. I didn't let anyone in here, he nodded slowly. Parents wanted me to go back home, work in their practice, prestige, money, the whole thing. But you didn't. No, he met her eyes. I wanted something real. Helping kids who actually need it. She studied him, really studied him. Young, yes, but not just young. And you're doing it, she said. People talk about you. He smiled a little. Good things, I hope. Very good things. They stepped back to look at the shelf. It leaned slightly. They both tilted their heads. We're not going to talk about that angle, Mike said. We are absolutely going to talk about that angle. They laughed, shoulders brushing. Neither moved away. Glow, he said, softer now. You make chaos feel good. She exhaled a small laugh. That sounds dangerous. He stepped closer. Not dangerous, irresistible. That hit hard, she swallowed. Mike, I'm old enough to be my lover. No hesitation, just truth, silence, charged, her breath stopped. His gaze didn't move, not joking now, not playing, real. Then he softened, just enough. Or, he added gently, someone I'd really like to get to know. She let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. She stepped back slightly, grounding herself, changing the subject, but not really. Working on this, she said, quieter now, it's made me realize something. He listened, no jokes, no interruptions. I'm still grieving, she admitted. Not just my husband, my daughter too, she hasn't been home since he passed. That vulnerability shifted everything. He stepped closer, careful this time, hands resting lightly at her waist, grounding, not claiming. It took me a long time, he said gently, to understand that connection doesn't start with people. He took a breath before continuing. It starts with faith, with showing up even when it's hard. His voice softened. And it's Christmas, Glow, she smiled faintly. Season of second chances. She nodded, emotion catching in her throat. You're a light. He grinned, couldn't help himself. This little light of mine, and she laughed. He added, maybe I should sing it in Tagalog. She laughed more full, bright, needed. He held her there a second longer than necessary, then let go. But not really. Gloria looked around her, she shed, her safe place. And for the first time, it didn't feel like a place to hide. It felt like a place to begin again. And just as that thought settled, Mike reached for her hand. The next day at the paint shop, the final strand of fairy lights went up, tiny bulbs glowing like captured fireflies as they stretched across the rafters. Careful, don't tangle that one, Gloria called, steadying the chair as Mike reached higher. I got it, he said, focused, tongue pressed slightly to his cheek. She noticed, of course she did. The space felt different tonight. Lighter, warmer, alive. Fresh pine hung in the air, mixing with paint and sawdust. Garlands wrapped the beams. The place finally looked like what it was meant to be. A home for joy. They should have left an hour ago. The volunteers had left a long time ago. Just one more section, Mike said, tying off the last wire. Gloria stepped back, taking it all in. They did this together, then crack. A sharp pop from the switchboard, the lights flickered, once, twice. Gone. Darkness dropped fast and complete, swallowing the room whole. Gloria gasped softly. Mike! I'm here, he said immediately. Calm, close, too close. She reached for her phone, fumbling slightly before the screen lit up, casting a faint glow between them. Are you okay? Yeah, he said, somewhere just beyond the light. Just killed the mood a little. She let out a small laugh despite herself. A second light flicked on his phone. Now she could see him, and he could see her. The darkness shifted something, no distractions, no work left to hide behind, just them. So, she said lightly, I guess we'll see the final product tomorrow with everyone else. Or, he stepped a little closer, lowering his voice, we keep this one to ourselves. She raised an eyebrow. Our own private preview. He angled his phone upward. Dust floated through the beam like tiny stars. She smiled. That worked on her. She sat on the edge of a bench. He joined her, close, not touching, but close enough to feel the warmth. It's kind of beautiful like this, she said softly, looking around. The moonlight slipped through the windows, turning everything silver and still. Yeah, he said, and then he turned his phone off, dark again. But different this time, intentional. She felt it, that shift. The quiet, the permission. My father wasn't handy, she said, her voice softer now. He was a reporter, always chasing the next story. Mike listened. My mom, she handled everything, fixed everything. She traced her finger along the bench. I think that's why I build, it made things feel balanced. He nodded slowly. I get it. She smiled faintly. But being strong all the time, she added. It's exhausting. He let out a quiet laugh. Strong is a little overrated. She chuckled. Don't you all call it the soft life now? Hey, he said, mock offended, don't group me in, I'm an old soul. Oh, are you? He leaned just slightly closer. I could definitely give you the soft life. That landed right in her chest. She stood too quickly. Well, brushing off her hands, I should head out. There it was, the pullback. He clocked it, didn't love it, but he nodded anyway. Yeah, I'll walk you out. Outside, the night air was crisp, quiet. He opened her car door, making sure it shut properly before stepping back. She rolled the window down. Thank you. For what? He asked. She hesitated. Everything. He leaned slightly against the door. Are you going to the dance tomorrow? She blinked. Dance. Oh, the fundraiser, she thought to herself. She hadn't gone since Robert. I don't think so, she said, almost reflexively. Come on, Glow, he said gently. We should celebrate this. He waited a moment before he said, let me pick you up. That phrase, pick you up, it did something. Her heart said yes, fast, loud, her mouth. I can meet you there. He smiled, but his full heart wasn't in it. Okay, see you there, Glow. As she drove off, she caught her reflection in the mirror, smiling, wide, unapologetic, and she couldn't stop. The next day, Petersburg showed up. Mayor front and center, taking just enough credit to be annoying, students buzzing, parents smiling, kids practically vibrating with excitement. The ribbon cut, cheers went up. The building, once forgotten, stood proud, alive again. Gloria stood just off to the side, taking it in. It's beautiful, she said softly. Mike turned to her, smiled. Yeah, he said. But he wasn't looking at the building. You did this, he added. We did this. He stepped closer, and just like that, everything else faded. The crowd, the noise gone, the air shifted, heavy, charged. She felt it before she understood it. His gaze dropped to her lips. Once again, her breath stopped. He leaned in, slow, intentional, giving her time to stop it. She didn't. Closer, closer. We're going to start the self-guided tour. They both snapped back, reality rushing in too fast. Mike stepped back, clearing his throat, caught. Yeah, go ahead, he called out. We'll be right here. The crowd moved inside. Silence settled again, but not the same silence. Not anymore. He looked at her, tried again, softer this time. Are you sure I can't pick you up tonight? She met his eyes, held them, felt everything she wasn't ready to say. That won't be necessary, she replied, light, too light, a beat. But I'll see you there, he nodded, but this time he knew this wasn't over. Hey loves, what advice would you give to Gloria at this stage of the game? Tell us in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Let's see what happens next. When Gloria got home, she threw every outfit she ever owned onto her bed. Mrs. Marley called her, so let me guess, you have nothing to wear. Gloria sighed, nothing for a party. I'll be right over, Mrs. Marley quipped. When she arrived, her hands were full with bags. Wow, said Gloria. Tallheimer was having a Christmas sale, Mrs. Marley cheesed. Besides, you got a cute shape, easy to shop for, reminds me of what I looked like 10 years ago. Gloria laughed before trying on several dresses, but was disappointed with each one. Mrs. Marley looked up from the book she was reading, too old lady. Gloria was embarrassed by the question before answering honestly. They're a little matronly. You don't have to sugarcoat it with me, honey, Mrs. Marley said with a hand on her hip. Did you look at the last dress in the bag? There's another dress, Gloria asked. Yes, ma'am, yelled Mrs. Marley as she threw the book across the room. It's the perfect pretty little thing to get the attention of a certain doctor. Gloria hissed, I'm not interested in Mike. Don't make something out of nothing. Mrs. Marley said frankly, what do the kids say now? How did I catch a stray? Don't be mad at the truth, just like don't be mad at how cute the last dress is. Gloria thought Mrs. Marley had handed her all of the outfits. When she pulled the dress out, she could not help but smile. It was a fitted knee-length metallic dress that hugged her curves, but also still held a bit of mystery. When she put it on, Mrs. Marley exclaimed, Don't break too many hearts tonight. Gloria hugged her. I love you, Monica. Mrs. Marley said, I know. Gloria arrived nearly an hour late. Her hair alone had taken longer than expected, pressed sleek, falling down her back in a way she hadn't worn in years. She barely recognized herself. The venue buzzed, packed. Wreaths lined the walls. Christmas trees glowed in every corner. A long charcuterie table showcased local favorites, half picked over by eager guests. And the band, deep in their bag, 80s, 90s, early 2000s classics. The crowd was feeling it. Inside, Mike had cleaned up very well. Tailored suit, sharp, effortless, dangerous, honestly, and people noticed. Students hovered, parents lingered. A few board members suddenly found reasons to chat longer than necessary. He smiled, polite but distracted, waiting. Then the band took a break and the DJ took over. Don Tolliver started playing, and chaos followed. The students took over the dance floor. One of his more enthusiastic students grabbed his hands. That's my song. Before he could react, she was dancing close on him, bold, racy, and unapologetic. Mike laughed awkwardly, trying to ease back. Okay, all right, let's, and that's when Gloria walked in. She looked stunning. Faux fur draped perfectly, metallic dress catching every light, those red bottoms that Bianca insisted on worth it. For a moment, she felt it, confidence, presence. Then she saw them. Her stomach dropped. Hard, Mike spotted her immediately. Relief flashing across his face. Glow, but she was already turning. Gone. Outside, the cold hit her fast. What was I thinking? She muttered. He's a baby. Inside, excuse me, sorry, coming through. Mike pushed past the crowd, no longer polite, focused. Glow, wait. He reached her just as she was digging through her clutch, bent over, catching his breath. You are fast. She didn't turn. Gardening, she shot back. Good cardio. She sighed. Why'd you follow me? Looked like you were having fun in there. He blinked. Fun. Then it clicked, and slowly he smiled. Oh, he said, softer, you mean her. She crossed her arms. She seemed comfortable. He shook his head, stepping closer. He paused. I've been waiting for you all night. That shook her, but she wasn't done. You didn't look like you needed me. He exhaled, then reached into his jacket. Okay, before you leave, he held out a small package. This is for you. She froze. For me? Yeah, simple, certain. She took it slowly, fingers brushing his. The paper was thick, the ribbon neat, intentional. You didn't have to. I wanted to. She opened it carefully, a journal, leather-bound, handmade, beautiful, thoughtful. She was beyond surprised. A journal, she asked quietly. He nodded. For the next chapter of your life, because you're not done writing yet, it's a little thing. That did it. Her eyes filled fast, unexpected. "This isn't little," she said softly. "This is everything." He stepped closer. "You matter to me, Glow. No jokes." No deflection, just truth. The noise from inside faded, didn't matter. "I like learning you," he added, voice quieter now. She looked at him, really looked, and this time she didn't pull away. His hand lifted, brushing her cheek, gentle, sure. She leaned into it. That was all he needed. He moved closer, slow, giving her space to stop him. She didn't. And then he kissed her, warm, intentional, a pause finally breaking. She responded almost instantly, her hand finding his jacket, grounding herself in something real. The world slipped away, the music, the cold, everything, just breath, just closeness, just this. When they finally parted, it was soft, lingering, like neither of them wanted to rush what they'd just found. He smiled, a little breathless. "Can I escort you to the dance now?" She smiled back. "Yes." They walked in together, arm in arm, and the room noticed. Oh, the room noticed. Whispers, double takes. A few stunned expressions. They didn't care. On the dance floor, they moved easily, like they'd already figured each other out. At one point, he leaned in, stole another quick kiss. Her knees nearly gave out. "Well, all right now." Mrs. Marley appeared like she'd been waiting for this moment her whole life. Rufus right behind her, dressed like a walking highlighter. "It's cougar season and I support it." Gloria froze. Mike blinked. Mrs. Marley waved them off. "Go on, get it out your system. Then go home." "Y'all got camp in the morning." They both laughed and ignored her completely. Because this time, Gloria didn't care who was watching. For the first time in a long time, she chose joy. 1 year later, Camp Christmas was thriving. Gloria was at home, hanging Christmas lights along the edge of the porch, the twinkling bulbs casting a warm sparkle over the snowy yard. One misplaced step, a slip on a hidden patch of ice, and suddenly she was sprawling across the wooden deck, pain shooting through her ankle. "Glow." Mike's voice was at her side instantly. "Are you okay?" I think so, but I can't walk," she admitted, wincing. He gently helped her inside, supporting her weight. He briefly examined her. "You need to stay off your feet. Let's get you to the hospital," she groaned. "What about Camp Christmas?" Mike hesitated, then asked, "Can your daughter fly in?" Gloria swallowed hard. "What if she's busy?" "Glow, you have not because you ask not," Mike said softly. Alone in the quiet of the decorated living room, Gloria closed her eyes and prayed, "Lord, thank you for being such a good God. Thank you for always taking care of me and my daughter. I really need her help. I know that you said all things work together for good, so I'm asking that this accident can bring us closer. I trust that you will order our steps. Amen." Taking a deep breath, she dialed Bianca and she answered quickly. "Mama," Bianca asked, cautious but bright. "Love bug, I need you to come home. Camp Christmas needs you," Gloria said gently while bracing herself for Thienswer. Bianca hesitated, citing her big opportunity, hosting a live Christmas Day special. Gloria chimed in with pride. "Congrats, baby. I understand that's a priority. If you come home now, you'll still be back in time." Bianca rubbed her temples in agony. Rashida, her amused YouTube producer, wiped her stylish blue coat, then whispered to Bianca's manager, Danica, "Talk about the art of negotiation." Danica grinned while adjusting her glasses. "Mom is the CEO. I'm taking notes." Bianca sighed. "When does it start?" "In 3 days," Gloria replied. 3 days. Bianca huffed. "Don't worry, you're a natural," Gloria reminded her. "It's in your blood. Remember how much your father loved this camp." Mike, leaning over Gloria, added smoothly, "Hi, Bianca. I'm sorry to interrupt, but your mom needs to stay off of her feet. She needs your help." Bianca, Rashida, and Danica exclaimed in unison, "Who is that?" Mrs. Carol purred mischievously, "Dr. Lagrimas." Danica and Rashida exchanged smirks while Bianca shook her head. "Mama, 1 second," Bianca muttered, putting the call on mute. She glanced at Rashida and Danica. "Okay, Mama isn't in a rush for more than one reason. I don't know who Mama's little doctor friend is, but Danica, I need to go home." Danica frowned. "What about the show?" Bianca waved off the concern. "Oh, I'm not missing that. I'll be back in time." A light bulb went off in Rashida's head. "Take some crew with you. Petersburg is charming and historic. It's a social media gold mine." Bianca hesitated. I think I can handle camp myself for a few days." She unmuted the phone. "Mama, see you soon." Gloria's voice bubbled with joy. "Good. Don't forget those peach candies I like and my granddog." Bianca laughed. "Scruff will be excited. Love you." Gloria cooed back. "Love you more." She hung up, muttering in mock consternation as Danica aced. "A kid's camp sounds like work." Bianca, forcing confidence, replied, "I mean, how hard can it be?" Huh. Rashida laughed, teasing. I can tell you don't have kids. Well, at least you'll be back in your old stomping grounds. Bianca sighed. Don't remind me. Danica batted her lashes, smirking. Ooh, maybe you'll meet someone like in those Christmas movies. Rashida put her hands on her hips. And if you do, get it on camera. Danica nodded eagerly. Right, she hasn't dated in years. Rashida shook her head. Too busy perfecting projects. Bianca laughed dismissively. A date, Christmas movie. I'll be back as soon as possible. Trust me, there's nothing to see back home. But deep down, a small fluttering her chest told her otherwise. She already missed the warmth of home, but little did she know. That going there would remind her what it felt to celebrate the true meaning of Christmas and to fall in love. Gloria hung up the phone with a soft sigh, the kind only a mother makes when she knows change is coming. When she turned, he was already watching her, that warm, steady gaze that made her feel seen all the way through. Mike stepped closer, slow and sure, and gently brushed a loose curl from her cheek. His fingers lingered just long enough to send a shiver through her. Then, with the lightest touch, he lifted her chin. Come closer, he murmured, and inside her ear he whispered a scripture. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. And then he kissed her. Not tentative, not questioning, a deep, heated kiss. A kiss full of longing and certainty, and the quiet thrill of a love she never expected to find again. His hand slid to the small of her back, pulling her closer, and her floral scent rose between them like a secret only they shared. For a moment, the whole world felt still. Just his breath, her heartbeat, and a Christmas week that suddenly felt full of miracles and second chances. Thank you for listening to the prequel to Christmas in Old Town. The next chapter of this story comes to life on screen very soon, where you'll finally discover who captures Bianca's heart when she returns home to help her mother, Gloria, run the kids' Christmas camp, and you just might see Dr. Lagrimas propose to the love of his life. If you're enjoying these stories, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new love story from Petersburg. Join our Patreon for exclusive behind-the-scenes access as we bring the film to life. You'll find all of the information in the description. The more you support, the more love stories we get to tell. And if you're new here, you've got some catching up to do. In Petersburg, the mayor's inner circle is full of brilliant, dynamic women, and each of them finds love at Christmas. There's Maeve, the mayor's famously strict, all-beige-wearing assistant, who took a leap of faith on a swoon-worthy K-pop idol. Brianna, the city planner, who unexpectedly fell for and married a billionaire builder. And the unforgettable spark between the director of communications and a retired NFL star. And of course, our story about a detective who went undercover, only to fall hard for a mafia boss. Yes, it's as good as it sounds. Go take a listen, fall in love, and step into the world of our Christmas holiday Heartthrobs series. We believe that we don't have to wait until the holiday season to share these types of holiday stories. And truth be told, we feel like this is doing good work. Like in our little way, another example of how to spread the gospel of love. We all deserve love. Until next time, be blessed and have a very merry everything.